This is what's left of our original farm stand after straight line winds took it out last summer. So we built a new farm stand, bigger and better. And to go along with it, I decided it was time to create a bigger and better farm stand sign as well. So this is gonna be my rainy day project. Anytime it rains, I'll start working on the brand new farm stand sign. Time to start making the sign.
What?
So, nothing. Just go ahead and cut.
Alright.
Do it. The new sign for the farm stand is now cut and sanded. Next up, we have to get the letters printed out so that I can get the lettering put on. That's Brian's job. The printing, not the drawing. The letters are coming along. That's looking good.
Piece by piece, bit by bit. This is a slow process.
One sheet at a time, huh? This is helpful for me though to have a stencil because me drawing freehand would probably not turn out so well.
Not for me. Ooh, we could have used a projector. You could have traced it with a projector.
Oh. Maybe for the next sign.
The next sign? Do this now.
I think it'll look good. Now the trick is going to be to transfer that over onto the wood. That is going to be tricky.
1, 2, 3, not it. Proof of concept.
Yeah, you convinced me to give it a try. Think it's going to work?
I do. If I can make this thing work. I don't understand.
No file. Fail.
It's a JPEG.
Fail. Attempt number 2.
USB. Farm stand. Oh, file, you suck. It's in here. I know it is.
Fail. Number 2. Attempt number 3 is the third time the charm.
It's gonna work this time. It's gotta work this time.
Oh, look at that.
You know, I could see, you tracing with pen or something like that, or pencil. This works a heck of a lot easier than taping up 1,000 pieces of paper.
You don't have to convince me. I'm sold.
Uh-huh.
We will try this after I paint. I have to paint it green, and then we'll do this. But proof of concept, I think this will work.
I think this will work.
It's a little crooked.
A little crooked, but we can adjust it, make it level.
Ooh, we can use your new fancy laser leveler thing. Ooh.
That's straight.
Your fancy little tools do come in handy every now and then.
I know what I'm doing.
I decided to put a white border, around the outside of the farm stand so that it matches our regular farm sign. So I taped it with painter's tape, and it's time to put the green coat on the inside. I'll do probably 2 coats, maybe 3, but at least 2. The painting is done, the green stuff at least. I ended up putting 3 coats on. I think it looks pretty solid now. So the next step is to take off the blue painter's tape, and hopefully I have nice straight lines. That hasn't bled too much, but it is what it is. It bled a little bit, just because of that wood grain. But I realized it really doesn't matter because I'm gonna have a little black border around that anyway, so I can cover that up. So far so good. Next up, the lettering. You're smart.
Thanks.
I think it's working.
It is working.
And so now I've got an image projected onto my sign.
Yes. So now you can just trace away. And you're able to make edits
and it not have to print out, I don't know how many pieces of paper it was. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then try to match them all up and then put them, tape them all. And as soon as you bump one, then the whole thing goes off. That wasn't the best way.
This is
Now,
better.
This,
Now I just have to have a nice straight line to steady hands to trace it.
yeah,
Or
that's
to
all you.
freehand draw it somehow.
That isn't me.
I will worry about that next. But this is pretty cool, and this here is the QME that we're using. We've had this for a really long time.
Yeah, it's over 10 years.
It works pretty great as a little projector though.
Yeah.
It's a rainy day outside today, so that makes it a perfect day to do this project. Here we go. It's a little hard to see, but the design is now penciled on. Now it's time to paint and hopefully not ruin it. It'll be fine. Well, it's a start anyway. You sure can't rush through this. Freehand, but it won't be perfect, but I think it's coming along all right. It's just gonna take a while. The first coat of white is now done. Just don't look super close. Back from afar, I'm pretty happy with it so far. That's pretty much all I've got for today. I think maybe the second coat will have to wait for the next rainy day. It's been a couple of weeks, but finally had a rainy day, so I put the third coat of white paint on the farm sign, and that'll do it for the white. Yay. So next up, I will start the black. It's getting there. I started the black, and I'm using an acrylic paint marker instead of regular paint with a brush. And this works way better because I can get the lines sort of straight, close enough anyway. Unfortunately, I'm getting old and I need to put these readers on in order to see the lines. Very fashionable, right? So yeah, so all I'm doing now is outlining what I already had traced and colored in, just like a coloring book. Yay, progress. It's a rainy day outside, so you know what that means. I'm back at the sign. So far, I've gotten the Trippy Acres outlined. And now, I'm gonna start in on the farm stand outlining. So I'm getting there. It takes a while, you gotta go slow, and once I start losing interest, I will make a mistake, so I have to stop after every little bit, but I'll get there. The letters are outlined, so now I put on some painter's tape to make a border. Hopefully the paint won't bleed through. Maybe it'll be a straight line, or close enough. The border is done. So next up is the tree. The last time I did this, I just freehand drew those limbs in there, so I'm doing the same thing again, kind of just looking off of the first one. So it's not going to be the same, but it'll be all right. Hopefully it'll look like a bunch of tree limbs. Then I will color it in. It's finally raining again, so that means I have a little bit of time to put the last finishing touches of paint on the farm stand sign. So hopefully I can finish that up today. The artwork of the farm stand sign is finally finished. I just finished the tree today. This is the point where I have to tell myself to just stop touching it and move on. It's not done yet though. I still need to now put, I think, 4 coats of clear polyurethane finish on it so that it'll handle the outdoor weather. But at least the artwork is done and I can move on to the next step. I'm up to the last step of finishing the farm stand sign. And that is to put a coat, actually 4 coats, of this polyurethane finish on it to protect it. So this will be outside in the weather, the rain and such. So this stuff will help keep it from degrading. At least that's the hope. So far I've put 3 coats on, and I'm going to put 1/4 final coat on the top and then flip it and do the same on the back. It makes it nice and shiny. I just finished putting on the 4th and final coat of the polyurethane on the back of the sign. So that means just have to let this dry and the sign will be finished. See how it looks when it's all done. My rainy day project is finished, finally. Took a few months, but I think it turned out pretty well. There it is. Now, all I have to do is grow some vegetables. That's what I'll be doing. Thanks for watching, and just keep growing.